Hello everyone, this is Sabine Minsky over at FromHeartToSoul.com. Thanks so much for connecting. And truth be told, this is my first Facebook Live ever, and this is my third take, so this time I am determined to not stop this video until I am done with my message. And today, I really wanted to share with you about the imposter syndrome. So not fully showing up as who you are inside in some area of your life. So I'm going to invite you to take a moment to tune in and determine if there is a relationship or relationships in your life in any realm in which you feel like you are not truly showing your essence. You might feel like you're wearing a mask out of fear, out of a sense of obligation, whether it be in your work environment, with your employer, or with a coworker or coworkers, whether it be in your family relationships, your love life, or friendships. So just take a moment to tune into that vibration and see how it makes you feel. Do you feel like you are yearning to show up more fully in that area? And what is keeping you from doing so? And what would it feel like if you stepped in fully and showed who you truly are, how you truly feel fully? What fears are triggered? What do you think might happen? And how would you bring that about? With better communication, with being willing to share your emotions more, or just your thoughts? How could you build up the courage for that towards yourself and towards that other person? As some food for thought and inspiration, I'd like to share with you a story from my life in which I felt like a complete imposter, and that was back in my days becoming a lawyer. In 2005, I was doing an articling position of 6 months in family law here in Montreal in a high-end law firm specialized in family law. And in the first weeks, my employer sat me down and told me that when I was to go to court, I was to become an impersonator. I was to see it as a theater play in which I would wear a mask and find a voice that wasn't necessarily my own. It was just a question of getting a message through. And that right away put me onto thinking that I was being in dissonance somewhere. I had tons of fears in terms of the responsibility of being a lawyer and taking on the very real, very dramatic aspects of dealing with people's separations, financial burdens, burdens around time with children and how to work that out especially. And it wasn't long until I felt like I was completely not in my place, but I pushed on. I pushed on not knowing what I was going to do after 6 months. I pushed on not feeling like I could, show myself and be myself at work, and especially when I was in court. But there was a very nourishing side to this, which was one, that I'm capable of being professional and doing it despite the fears, but two, that I tapped into that place of discomfort and really started connecting more deeply with who I was and what I really wanted to become. Even though I had a pretty promising career that was potentially right there for me to grab. And I remember every day I would take a moment on my lunch break, when I did have my lunch break, to read some of Thich Nhat Hanh's writings on meditation and applying them, so that I created the space to tune into my intuition more and more during those months, even though many days felt pretty crappy. And it was about halfway through that it just hit me. And I really mean hit me. I was driving my very old Ford Escort at the time, and the message came in that I needed and wanted to become an osteopath and finally use my hands, which had been like such a back message in my mind. I want to use my hands in my work. I want to use my hands, but I had no idea how to do that in what realm. That's a pretty long story of how it came to be that I went back to school for 6 years to become an osteopath, which is part of my practice now. I'm an osteopath and a soul coach. But really, if I look back at those 6 months of dissonance, they really did serve that purpose of forcing me to create space within me to find something more nourishing and more of me. So what I'm inviting you to do with the relationship or the realm in which you feel like you are not showing up as yourself is to use that feeling that sometimes can feel so, down, pulling yourself down, feeling like you're out of place, out of space. And that's okay. That's actually a springboard for you. A springboard to go look deeper within, to open up to new realms around you in which you can find a truer, more nourishing, more truthful path. The key to this is to allow yourself in the first place to recognize this is not me, despite what family can say around, despite what society can say around, because, in my case, becoming a lawyer sounded pretty good on paper, and in the eyes of many others around me, but to me it was a no inside, a big no. But I'm the kind of person who pushes till the end, just in case, and the nourishing side in that is to actually give yourself that space to listen to the dissonance and go beyond it. So if it is in the realm of a relationship rather than, your line of work, let's say, then listen to the dissonance. Go to the heart of it. What is it that makes it that I don't feel like I can be myself with that person? And how can I bring more of who I am in a way that is productive? Because emotions can run high when we start looking at that. And beyond that, the key is communication with yourself and communication with the other person. So if emotions run high, take a step backwards. Allow yourself to feel what is there and then decide, how can I use those feelings and communicate them in a way that is centered on me and my experience instead of trying to rub the other person sometimes. So that realm of imposture is actually, another term for it would be a time of discovery, a space of discovery of self through interaction with others. And that is I think that is the essence of duality, is to be able to experience it ourselves through our interaction with others, and to be able to hold that mirror to ourselves and see how we can align further by by looking at the space within us that doesn't feel in resonance with who we truly are, who we truly feel that we can be. So that is my invitation to you. Dig deeper. Dig deeper with love, with patience, and don't stay on that fence of accepting a situation just because your family says so, just because your mental preconcepts say so, just because society says so. And if you want some more nourishing inspiration around this, I have organized a summit called Your Spirited Life, which is going into a replay period, a full replay period from tomorrow, Saturday, until Wednesday. You can access it for free at yourspiritedlifesummit.com. And some of the topics that are being addressed in it are authenticity, alignment, and conscious creation. So tons of information to inspire you and guide you in connecting deeper. Thanks so much for connecting with me. It's been a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.